I'm going to be using a 5mm hook and 100% mercerized cotton. I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 37. You can chain whatever number you want that is a multiple of 8 and then add 5. So you can do anything that's 8. And I'm going to do 37. Okay, I have 37 chains. The reason you do a multiple of 8 and then add 5 is because the pattern is an 8-stitch pattern of 4 slip stitch and 4 half double crochets that you repeat. But the reason you add 5 is because you will end each row with the same 4 that you started with, and you skip the first chain next to the hook to start with, so that's where the extra 1 comes into play. So the second chain from the hook, so we're not counting the 1, and I'm going to go in the back bump. You do a slip stitch, and we will do 3 more. So we will start the row with the 4 slip stitch, and then we will do 4 half double crochets. So that is the 8 stitches that we're going to repeat. When you do your slip stitch, make sure that you don't do your tension too tight, because it will be very difficult to do the next row into the slip stitch if it is too tight. So now we will repeat this where we do 4 slip stitches, and now you will do 4 half double crochets. Now you will repeat that to the end of the row. Your last 4 stitches are going to be slip stitches. Okay, that's the end of row 1. So for row 2, you will chain 1, turn your work, and you will repeat. The only difference in row 2 from row 1 is that you are going to be going into the back loop only. and you will continue this for the rest of your project. So the back loop only, do 4 slip stitch, and 4 half double crochet. Repeat that all the way to the end. That is the end of row 2. This pattern is a 4-row repeat. So these are the first 2 rows, and then we're going to do row 3 and 4, and then you will just start over back at row 1, going in the back loop only. So chain 1. The only thing that's different is the stitches you start with. So for row 3 we will do 4 half double crochets and then 4 slip stitches, and then repeat that all the way to the end. Your last 4 stitches are going to be a half double crochet. Make sure you are always going into the back loop only for every row. Obviously the first row you can't go in the back loop only because you don't really have a back loop yet, but we did go in the back bump. Okay, that is the half double crochets and slip stitches. Going to repeat that all the way to the end. That's the end of row 3. Chain 1, turn your work. Row 4 is exactly the same as row 3. That is the end of row 4. So you just repeat rows 1 through 4 to complete the rest of your project. And this is what it will look like. I'm just going to use this as a washcloth. So going into the back loop only is what gives it the ridges. So one side it's going to be puffed out. So that's kind of neat. So that if you wanted to do this like for a basket or a purse, a pot holder, something like that, where both sides are not going to show, you just need to decide which side you want to have as your main look, and then that's the side that you will make your main side. But so just repeat row 1 through 4 until you get to the height that you want. Just remember to always go in the back loop only, and chain 1 at the beginning of every row. And if you are confused on which row that you are on, you can count. You can see where there's kind of a ridge right here in the middle of what they're calling an almond. So each completed almond shape is 2 rows. So that's how you can just kind of count if you lose count and don't know what row you're on. And if you started a row with slip stitches, then you end it with a slip stitch. And if you started with half double crochets, you end it with a half double crochet. And as long as you do that, it should turn out good.